So Arby says, if all my stacks links ultimately point to a masked pretty link to the final destination, so I can keep control of the stack if the client stops paying, will this lose out much by number one, not having the keyword in the underlying link, only perhaps in the mask text? No, I mean, it helps a little bit if you can, at least in my testing with link building stuff lately, if you have control over your pretty link, you can squeeze a keyword in there. But it ultimately at the destination, like I said, I like to squeeze keywords into redirect links that I'm using to kind of add some relevance, especially if I'm coming from properties where I don't have the ability to modify the anchor text. Then I like to link from those properties through a redirect URL that does give me the ability to squeeze a keyword in there. So I don't think that's a problem. If you can squeeze a keyword into the slug of the pretty link that you're talking about, the redirect, then in my opinion, do it. But if you don't have access to it, you're still going to get whatever link building you're doing to the target that has the outbound link, redirect link going to your ultimate destination, whatever you're trying to power up. You can kind of you can influence what the anchor texts are, right, through contextual link, right? Obviously, where the link is placed and the content that surrounds it, but also in the links that are being built to that target page and the anchor text ratios of that, right? So there's a couple ways that you can do it. I wouldn't worry about it too much. What I'm saying is, I know you want to use a redirect, and you're asking, will you lose power if you do it? Not really. It's such a small amount that I like using redirects a lot, actually. And it's funny because we're just talking about this, but mgyb.co, the link shortener, has just amassed a shit ton of power over the years. And so I wanted one for my own agency specifically because I wanted a branded link shortener. And so I started to build one of I'm just using Pretty Links. I installed a short domain on, and set up WordPress and using Pretty Links. And I've been doing a lot of link building through my own short links. And that domain is powered up considerably, just like, and I got the idea, obviously, from mgyb.co, the shortener, the link shortener. So it works. And even if you don't, I like to use those redirect URLs a lot now, because what's great about it is you can change the target URL at any time, right? Does that make sense? So and I know that's why you were asking about it. So don't not use them because you're worried about losing a little bit of juice, or if you don't have control over the keyword slug, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd still continue to use it as long as you have access to continue editing that redirect. I don't really find a whole lot of benefit in redirects if you can't, modify them at a later date, right? Edit the target URL and that kind of stuff. Number two, trying to build juice to a masked link on the link tool instead of the ultimate target. No, again, it's going to pass through. There's a small amount of loss across of it, as long as it's a 301 redirect. It's only a tiny bit of loss, but it's negligible, at least in my experience. Marky, do you have any different opinion on that?
You know me, I love link shorteners, man.
Yeah.
It's just ever since the GOO.gl shortener came out, ever since that was given to us, man, it was like, holy crap. And I didn't do enough to look into the why until after it was gone, until I started going into Firebase, and then I figured it out. And when I figured it out, I wanted to hit myself in the head with a hammer, because I should have figured it out sooner. But it didn't drop until oh man, this is what was happening. This is why it was so powerful. This is why Google was counting it as an impression. We saw that. I did that test where I broke Twitter, and just those thousands of links going through Google, and we were seeing the impressions, and I'm like, why was it counting it as impressions? Didn't know, didn't care. We knew there was power. Well, now I know. Now I really care, and MGYB is built on those foundational principles that I found out going through the GOO.gl shortener and Firebase and building out mgyb.co /s, right? For the shortener, which is, you drop power in there, you power up initially, you power up those short URLs, and they just push power through the destination because it's a 301. The relevance is picked up from the page that originates the link, because all you're doing is changing it. You're making it shorter, pushing it through to the destination, that 301. So it's picking up the relevance anyway. How do we know? Our MGYB shortener ranks for keywords, although most of them are not keyword based, like he's saying here, where,
Right.
where you write the custom slug. We don't need it for the most part. On the really, really difficult niches, it could be that additional boost that gets you over the top. Could be. I don't know if that much power is available or how much you would have to do to break through. But we do know this. We do know that they index, they rank for keywords without having the keyword relevance. But how can they rank without having the keyword relevance? They're picking it up from the link origin. That's the only place that they could pick it up, from the place that you're taking the URL and you're using to shorten, in our case, MGYB. And they're also picking up from the boost that Daddy is giving it through link building, because we use contextual links, contextual web 2.0.
Yeah.
So all that relevance is coming through. What does this tell you? Google will read relevance through a redirected link. How good is that? It's one, I'm not giving away the really juicy shit. I'm not ready to give that away. But how good is understanding that, knowing that wherever that link is, Google understands where it's coming from and where it's going. And as long as there's relevance on both the origin and the destination, Google is picking it up and it's pushing it through and it's helping it rank. Not only helping it rank your page, but the MGYB shortener. So it's not necessary to have keyword relevance, although it will help in a really difficult niche or in something that's stuck for whatever reason. It could help to just give it that additional push. As far as, what was the other one? Trying to build juice to a max link. No. Just build links, man. Tiered link building. That's what's gonna push it up.
Yeah, like I said, the juice will pass. There's a very slight loss, but it's so negligible. It's not even worth mentioning. So, and his follow up to that was great. I always wondered whether Google looks under the hood to see the true link instead of my link target keyword. Maybe I'm not sure what that is. LTKW.